to his creation. When Allah says, raising someone to himself, it means raising the status or honoring that someone. No physical ascent or descent of any prophet or anything to and from Allah is mentioned in the Holy Quran. Finally, I will turn to the third section of my presentation, where I will talk about the death of Jesus Christ in the light of Holy Quran. To do so, I have to explain that in the Christian world today, Jesus is considered and worshipped as God. He is given the status of Son of God, which makes him worthy of worship. If we assume for a moment, although I have proved that Jesus is ascension into the heavens cannot be taken literally, but if for a moment, let's assume that Jesus is alive in the heavens physically today and will come back to this very verse, then how can we reconcile the following verse? This verse is from chapter 5, Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 118, and I quote, this is Jesus saying to Allah, quote, I said nothing to them except what which thou didst command me. Worship Allah, my Lord and your Lord. And I was a witness over them as long as I remained among them. But since thou didst cause me to die, thou hast been the watcher over them, and thou art witness over all things. Let me explain this verse. In this verse, Allah is asking Jesus that did he command his followers to worship him? His answer is that you caused me to die, and after that, you were a watcher over them. And I do not know what had happened after I died. If Jesus is still alive, and knowing of what is happening in the world today, can he make such a statement that he does not know? Wouldn't this be a lie? Let's say he's not aware of what is happening in the world, as he's in the heavens. Surely, when he comes back, will then he not know? How can then he be unaware of something and claim that he's unaware when he attains knowledge of it by coming back to this earth? This verse again says that Jesus is dead and he has no knowledge of what's happening. As I've explained before in quite detail, that Jesus was a messenger and a mortal, according to the Holy Quran. I will now set out verses which bear testimony that every mortal messenger has been promised death, and there is no exception to this. I call a verse in which Allah says, we granted not everlasting life to any mortal before thee. If they shouldest die, should thee live here forever? Here Allah is saying that I haven't given immortality to anyone. So will you live forever? Surely you will die as well. Then the Holy Quran goes on and says, in another verse, every soul shall taste of death. And we test you with evil and good by way of trial. And to us shall you be returned. Again, it is mentioned that every soul will taste death. Now, I've categorically mentioned that as the Holy Quran establishes the fact that Jesus is a mortal and a messenger. Many scholars, Muslim scholars, say yes, he's a messenger and a mortal, and he will die. But when he comes back to this earth, how can this be when I have stated that he did not ascend into the heavens? And he is unaware of that which is happening. Surely this could happen if he's dead. However, let's see the following verse as it relates to till the death of Jesus. This verse is from Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 76. This verse is a testimony given by God that all messengers before Jesus have passed away. I quote the verse, "The Messiah, son of Mary, was only a messenger. Surely messengers like unto him had passed away before him, and his mother was a truthful woman. They both used to eat food. See how we explain the signs of their good, and see how they are turned away." In this verse, Allah says that Jesus was a messenger, and all messengers like him have passed away before him. So it is a proof that all messengers before Jesus are dead. Then it mentions that Mary was a truthful woman. And then it goes on and says, both in the past tense used to eat food. They do not eat food anymore. All would agree, Christians and Muslims alike, that Mary indeed died and is incapable of eating food. Can Jesus be dead as well? And that's the reason why Allah is saying that he cannot eat food. Suppose for a moment that he is still in the heavens, and since he is in the heavens, he does not need food. What would happen when he will come back? Will he eat food then? If so, this verse will not apply to them, as this verse categorically says that they used to eat food. The end of this verse is even so beautiful, as it says that Allah is explaining his signs for the good of mankind, and surely he is. Let's for a moment assume that food maybe will not be required now in the heavens or when he comes back. So even that doubt is cleared by the Holy Quran in the next verse that I will quote. In chapter 21, verse 8, Allah says, "And we sent none as messengers before thee but men, to whom we sent revelations. So ask the people of the reminder, if you know not. Nor did we give them bodies that ate no food. Neither were they to live forever." Such a beautiful verse in which Allah says that no messenger has been given a body which does not need food. It needs food, and thus would be required either in the heavens or in the earth, if we assume so. So this verse clearly says that as they used to eat, Mary and Jesus combined together, and now they do not. Since Mary is dead, what about Jesus?